So, hey, why were we late? Let's go behind the scenes to how the sausage is made. We use 2 cameras for the, well, you take the intestines and you put, no. So we use 2 cameras for CheckPoint. We use this camera. And then when we go to the close-up shots, we have this camera.
Right, let me just stop recording.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The camera we're on, in actual fact, is our $25 garage sale find.
Correct.
Yes.
It's a great camera and works for this. The other camera, which is our old A camera, actually, it's the C100, which is this one, which is also Canon, so it uses the same power adapter as the other one. Doesn't have a power adapter, because we bought a spare power adapter and it failed.
That's right.
In some hilarious way.
And because the $25 camera didn't come with a power adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have one power adapter. We're using it for the X305 or XF305. So when we do CheckPoint, we run the XF305 hardwired, and then we run the C100 off of battery. And the power for the XF305, which is also the battery charger, has this peculiarity, which is if you have a battery on it that needs charging, it won't charge if the cord that runs between the battery charger and the camera is plugged in.
Not just the camera has to be turned off. The cord has to be unplugged.
Right. Probably because the adapter itself can only provide so much power, and so it's like, I'm going to have to bypass the battery circuit and just deliver mains.
Yeah.
And actually detecting the load would be too much work. So
just like hard bypass.
So what happened was that we didn't have a charged battery.
Yeah.
All the batteries were dead.
We have three batteries that could potentially work, but none of them were actually charged.
So the 15-minute delay there was to let a battery charge long enough that we. How much time is on the
C100?
The tight camera right now?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. All right. Well,
so we got there.
We did it. Good job. So yeah. So that's why we should just go to Amazon.
I mean, that's where we got the first one, and it died.
Oh yeah.
But we bought a third-party one, and it was like.
Maybe we should just buy another Canon one.
Yeah.
It's
4 times as much, but at least it'll work.
Or if it doesn't, we can go, hey, Canon.
Yes. Well, we've had a lot of success with that, haven't we?
Having the charger and the battery be the same, having the charger and the AC be the same thing.
What I want is
and not have it charge when it's plugged in.
What we should get is just 2 straight power adapters.
Yeah. And
then put the battery charger in with the other battery charger.
That's a way better. Yeah, that's a way better idea.
Because then we don't have to keep bending down to get the battery.
You're absolutely right.
And then also of course the cameras don't charge the batteries like when it's on the camera.
Yeah.
And the camera's plugged in, it doesn't charge it itself. Which that would be nice.
That would be so good, wouldn't it? Oh well.
Such is life.
In happier news, I don't think I'm going to have to bow out in the middle of the after show.
Oh,
that
good.
is happy.
Yeah, something has rearranged itself properly within my body that I think everything is fine now. You missed the drama before we went live.
Just please ask it to not make me the next host.
Yes. I'll do what I can, but I only have so much control.
Okay.
It gives me these moments where I can have control back over my body. You know how it is, right?
That's like good.
Yeah. It's hard being a trill.
Beans was suffering some gastrointestinal distress, but it seems to have subsided.
Yeah, it hit like a mallet about like 2 minutes before game time here.
It was like, all right, ready to go live? Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, what's this? Ooh,
hey,
a McDonald's gift card.
Thank you. I got to give that to Dale tonight.
Okay.
Because I think it's his. Because somebody rode in the back of my car with a McDonald's gift card in their pocket, and then they got out of it but left it behind. And we found it after both Paul and Dale had ridden in the back of my car. Oh. And rather than, well, no, I did ask Paul first if it was his, and it is not.
All right.
So it is probably Dale's, and if it's not his, then it's somebody who rides in my car.
Then it's yours.
Yeah, and I ride in my car an awful lot, so it must be mine.
Gelato Squid, yes, I did. I was actually just about to talk about that. Gelato Squid, in the chat there, by the way. I was talking about the Whispers of the Worm, the new Black Spindle exotic gun. Gelato Squid was in the as far as we are aware anyway. World first fire team to make it through that event. So,
You're a hero.
So that was pretty cool.
In that regard, for these special hidden events, how do you find out that that special hidden event even exists in the first place?
You random into it. This is the thing. So
they don't release hints or anything like that.
No. So the way that
They would probably release hints like if it went unfound for way too long.
I could see maybe.
probably, yeah, but basically, it has probably been there since last week's weekly reset.
Okay.
But it didn't really get discovered until, I want to say, Thursday. So there was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday there where it wasn't happening.
Okay.
And it's if you happen to be on IO doing public events, and during the public event you notice that there's this portal there.
Ah, so it is something that's obvious.
The first post about it was on Friday.
Wow.
So it took most of the week before people noticed.
Okay.
And then then you go through that whole rigmarole that I said. It's a very good gun though. It just melts bosses because you just land 3 precision hits, and then your mag refill. The
magically from ether.
What I said in the story, for those who don't play Destiny, the white nail perk that I said lets you aerate the weak point, is if you land 3 precision hits in a row, then it refills the mag. So on random trash enemies, it's just you kill 3 things, then you get your mag filled. But if you're fighting a boss, you just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then they die because you've got a whole fire team just all going hold still.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, it is. It's kind of like a little mini raid because they don't tell you how to find it or what it is or how to do it. The route inside this thing, like once you get into the mission, the route to navigate your way through it is preposterous. By the time I did it, I was going through with Cameron and Foxmar, who had both done it already.
Okay.
And so they were like, "Here's the route," and I'm just sort of going,
How would you know?
How would you figure this out? You just have to just sort of go, well, I'm standing on this ledge and there's no obvious place to jump to, so I'm just going to start trying to fly out around blind corners and see if maybe there's a ledge over there.
Ah, okay.
You have 20 minutes to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So then you plummet to your death, but
Yeah.
you notice there's something that you missed, so you go back and you jump again. You hopefully get it. Jesus. I just did the White Palace in
good.
Hollow Knight.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
And that was
That's a pain in the butt.
I did not like that. I spent maybe 3 hours in there, and I was ready to throw the controller on the couch and just be like, you know what, F this. I don't need whatever's at the end of this.
So, my description in the story obviously sounds ridiculous, especially if you don't play Destiny. I'm actually on board for a lot of that. The stuff that is maybe not respecting people's time, people who don't just play this game every single day,
Righto.
is that it goes away. Right. I know they did this with the Black Spindle in Destiny 1, but the fact that now, because Monday resets happened, that it's gone for this week, that you just can't do it, is I don't understand what's to gain from that. Apparently it'll be back next week, but why? And that you have to wait for the Taken Blight public event to hit it, and then if you fail, if you don't beat them in the 20 minutes, then you have to wait for the public event again.
In a week?
Sucks. Well, the public events cycle fairly often,
Okay.
but there were reports of people waiting for hours.
Because it's not.
It's random.
It's not any
Right.
public. It's a specific.
It's a specific
yeah.
public event.
Right.
So it doesn't help that it's constantly going.
The gun?
I guess.
Oh no, the White Palace.
Oh, the
'cause
White Palace,
Buzz
right.
saws everywhere.
Right.
And I'm like, this. I actually sat there at one point with the thing on pause, and just thought to myself, this has to be hell for streamers, because you just have going all thousands of them just going all the time.
You did do it with the Hive Charm, right?
Absolutely, I put Hive Blood on.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I'm not insane.
Yeah, Thorso card. There's definitely there. This is an ongoing issue. It's particularly bad with Destiny 2, but there's an ongoing issue that there are some decisions that seem fun, and some decisions that seem like somebody at Bungie who's making specific decisions never factors in respecting people's time. You know?
They're thinking of it as that if you're playing Destiny 2, thank you for making your full-time job Destiny 2.
Yeah, or they don't even think about it. They're just like, oh, that could be fun. Sure, run it out without taking a moment to be like, now let me think about how this would actually be if I was playing it.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like there's this weird line with video games, right, where it's like making something exclusive gets people sort of hyped about it.
Yeah.
But if you make something too hard to get, then people just get annoyed because they can't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like trying to hit that proper area where it's like exclusive and cool and like hard to do, but not actively annoying for people.
Because you don't want to feel like, oh well, everybody in like now that this is available, it's like that friggin' like drop cave that they had where everyone was going there all the time and shooting stuff and just mining it for engrams. And I could see how that would be like, well, and once everyone found out about it, they're like, well, we have to get rid of this because, you know, it's an error and everyone's just going to be way too massively overpowered. I can see why they might be like, we need to put a curb on that so not everybody has a chance to do that. But
That's, as someone who plays the game, Crazy Zonny, that's not even like the ongoing complaint with the game. So Crazy Zonny said, I think most Destiny's issues are about how can we make something that forces people to give us more money. Just ask Jim Sterling. Jim makes a lot of good points about microtransactions and AAA titles, and that's like an ongoing thing for him.
I mean, it sounds like this.
I've never bought silver. I've never engaged in any microtransactions. That's not the problem.
Like it seems
with
that
Destiny.
I mean,
that's
with
like
this particular situation, there's no way you could buy your like you can't buy more raids or anything.
No, you can't. Yeah. That's an issue, and it's something that like I don't know that they have handled microtransactions as well as they should, or the fact that they have them at all. That's another part of the debate. But as someone who plays Destiny 2 and played a lot of Destiny 1, microtransactions is not even remotely the problem with Destiny 2. No, I haven't.
I guess there is an argument to be made that even if you aren't sort of participating in the microtransactions, they can kind of warp the developer's attention, though, which can be a problem.
There's that, but I mean, the issues with the game are not like, but if I just gave them an extra $5, then it would be fine.
Yeah,
like
it's not necessarily like a direct correlation, but there can be certain influence.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the Destiny thing.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Marvel Strike Force.
Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah.
Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah. This literally just happened to us with the Magic Arena.
Yeah.
Free, like the streamer event thing. They were like, to all the streamers in the event, they're like, here's a God account. You can only use it in the free queues.
And if we catch you using it elsewhere, which is unsaid, right? Like it's
they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But you know that if they're like, if they're saying don't use it for a paid event, because it's like you could just make whatever deck you wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like they're like, don't do that. Which is, even though it's just the beta and everything will get wiped eventually, nothing matters. They still were like, don't do that. So.
Which makes sense. Like we've done this for like Beach said in the story. Like we've done this for various things where we get access or get things that accelerate you along the path.
I mean, hell, we do the pre-releases, which give us a ton of stuff way before everyone else gets it. And it's like, but there's strict rules that how that works.
Oh,
And
yeah.
The Lord's Mobile stream was another example of they gave us a lot of currency to spend in game, which is what I did. I used most of it to get to a point where I was like comfortable with like, now I can play this the way that we want and I can show off buying stuff on stream because I have currency left. And I was like, once I fulfilled that, it's like, I can continue playing this game, but I can also see I'm nowhere near as powerful as anyone else anyway. But I also was like, I'm not supposed to continue playing this account. I'm done playing this now. So I played it for like another 2 or 3 weeks to see if I was still interested, and I was like, I'm not, so I just retired. But it's like, you're not supposed to keep, when you're like top level on the back of the company, something should be tweaking in you to say, maybe I shouldn't be top level anymore. You know, like maybe I'm kind of ruining this for other people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's like, yeah, you know, I have to say, I'm glad that, you know, Loading Ready Run makes our living from the, you know, the content we produce and the, you know, the support of the fans and subscriptions and stuff, not as a social media influencer.
yeah,
That's a tough, that is a tough road to hoe.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would not want to do that as a thing.
Massive Fortnite update. There was sort of a bunch of different
So many
Fortnite
stories.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, there's so much money on the line for this thing. Like, it's $8 million over the course of over the summer.
Yeah.
And so, like, this event was what, 250?
250,000
Yeah.
with 130,000 of it going to I drop bodies, which messed up your prompter, by the way.
Yeah, it went all purple.
did it?
Well, because I put I mentioned I drop body's name twice, and there's an underscore in their name. So everything between the underscores in the everything between there and there was italicized purple.
It was very hard to read.
Working as intended.
Yeah.
That's marked in.
Is it I drop or I drops?
I drops bodies,
Yeah,
but I just
yeah.
didn't pronounce the
That's fine.
the Z. Anyway, so yeah, people were like, "He's a cheat. He's doing all this stuff. He's using mouse and keyboard on PS4." And Epic's like, "You're allowed to do that. It's accessibility. You can do that if you want." It turns out he also wasn't using a mouse and keyboard. He was using a third-party controller.
That's taking your life in your own hands, really. I mean,
Yeah, but it's really funny that like people were like the integrity of the thing, and Epic was like, all right, let's look into it, and then their whole thing. Paul was saying that they were like commenting. This was in the Reddit thread, was it?
Well,
Or in the chat.
they did a post
Yeah.
in the official Fortnite Reddit, being like, in regards to,
Yeah.
like, they didn't actually
like, here's what we found.
reply directly to the accusation post, but
Yeah.
they did a post in the subreddit being like, in regards to the winner, it's like, these are all the things, how many people he did, they are all they're all separate accounts and all this stuff. But then what I loved about it is that the spokesperson from Epic or whatever stayed around in the thread, and people kept, people bring up various things. It's like, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought? It's like, well, maybe it's like, well, it shows up as all different accounts, but maybe people just made like a bunch of different accounts, and they're like, the accounts were all from different IP addresses. The accounts were all from different physical consoles.
sure.
None of the accounts were made after the event was announced.
Ah,
Some of the accounts went back to 2016. Like, it was one of the most thorough, not only like debunking the thing, but also like, usually a company won't explain all of the reasons why they say something is the way it is.
yeah.
But they're like,
Almost.
the value, the stuff that you guys are going on,
Yeah.
which is this thing like Fortnite something. There's like a Fortnite stats.
Oh, yeah,
site.
somebody was like, well, on this tracking website, it says blah, blah, blah. And Epic was like, that site is not accurate.
Yeah, and they're like, they said, it's like, there's this Fortnite tracker is not an official thing.
Yeah.
They use our API, which is great and
Yeah.
fine. But they do not have access to the 53 billion pieces of analytics that we pull
Yeah.
in.
So Elnis49 says, I hope they ended this with, we know everything, which they basically did.
Yeah. So basically, whether or not this was a good structure for the tournament, which, by the way, they've also said we are not going to, like, week 3 is not going to be done this way.
Yeah.
Right.
It's entirely possible this was a bad idea for a tournament. Regardless of that, it appears that this person was legit.
Like, you'd have to, if we get conspiracy theory here, what would have to have happened is that this guy be like, all right, guys, I'm going to go play in this tournament. You know, it's streamed and whatever, but I'm not streaming it on my own channel or whatever. And then he gets into it and he's like, oh, okay, so now we're being moved into just normal queues and we're going to earn points because they've just made a massive change on how this is going to operate. Okay, time to mobilize my social media team to tell all of my fans that if you've had an account before, let's say 2016, to get in and just take, and hopefully if you're paired with me, just if you see me, take a dive. How will you know if it's me? Well, you won't because they don't put names above our heads, I don't think, in Fortnite. You just end up shooting somebody. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't think you find out until
Until you get
die.
shot?
Yeah.
So it's like, so just walk around in a Fortnite game and try not to do anything. And I'm going to need a lot of you to do that because I need the chances of being able to run into
But it's
you.
got to
so
be it's got to be individuals, and also there can be no way of tracking that I've done this.
Yeah, you also cannot come back more than once.
Yeah.
So if you get shot by me, you can't come back.
So
I just briefly want to cut in real quick because there's actually some unrelated, incorrect information going on in the chat. Because Arctic Scarab was asking, will the VODs for the Wednesday Magic stream be on your channel, on the Magic channel, or neither? The streamer event that was Wednesday afternoon last week, that will be on our channel like any other VOD. The one that's on the Magic channel on Wednesday mornings, we don't know yet. They are working that out. We are hoping that the VODs will be available on some channel, whether it be theirs or ours, but we don't have an answer yet. So we don't know. Hi.
Hi.
You just hanging out, or?
Yeah. I realized I was impinging on Heather's ability to get her job done. So I was like,
Oh, you wanna sit with us?
Not really.
Okay.
It's not a microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Kathleen's here.
we're
Keep coming. There we go.
Hi.
okay.
Good job.
Proof of life.
Yeah. I will say, with the whole I drop bodies thing, just the last thing about that, it's unfortunate in terms of jumping to this guy's defense. Part of the problem and part of the consternation was that his Twitch channel was taken down.
Yeah.
When people were like, "Oh, he's like disabled his Twitch, so we can't like look at his replays." That's suspicious. Turns out that was an unrelated thing because he Twitch turned out for like I think it might have been for saying the N-word.
Ah!
So I mean, we're defending the guy in response to the
Yeah.
Let's
just be fair here.
The Fortnite thing. Not saying he's blameless for whatever, but
I was wondering about the account being taken down. That's interesting. All
yeah.
right. And my last point in the story, in that the lag issues were caused by, they said, a greater density of people being alive in the final circles than in normal queues. This is absolutely a problem that's happened in PlayerUnknown tournaments because they have, a bunch of them have used this tournament structure where it's like, we'll have these 100 people play 5 games and we'll do it points, and we'll do it like a points system, like a
Based on how high up
like
you
a
go out on?
like a cup circuit.
Okay.
Right.
And yeah, and it's points based on how long you stay alive.
Ah!
and
Right.
then someone realizes that they have a fair number of points going into the last game, and all they need to do is live.
It's not even going into the last game. It's just it incentivizes not engaging.
Right.
You want to just stay alive as long as possible, so it makes for really boring viewership where people avoid one another so that they can try and stay alive for as long as possible to get as many points as possible.
Right.
So it's a tournament structure that incentivizes uninteresting gameplay.
Like I remember there was a controversy about the like in the PUBG tournament where somebody was high enough in the rankings, they were like, I'm just gonna get all the med kits and then run into the
Yeah, he just sat in the blue.
the blue and like died, but we had enough like med stuff and died slow enough that ended far enough along in the tournament that ended up winning the thing.
Fascinating
Yeah.
idea. Also, it would really suck to be in one of those tournaments and be like the first person to go out. Because you'd be like, I'm part of the top 100 in the world playing this game.
Sorry.
Wait, we have a quip.
Almost like professional gamers know how to play the system.
Yeah, and it's like gamers will game the system.
Yeah, how about that?
That Splatoon. Beej watched this video of the hacker, the Splatoon hacker, like 12 times and couldn't. And I watched it too, and I'm like, I can't tell what the hack is. Like
There are multiple videos from of different things going on, all sorts of different hacks, but the one that Kotaku put up on their page is completely incomprehensible, I think, unless you're playing at a high level.
the person playing
Who's
dies.
yellow,
Yeah,
dies
the person
to purple.
dies, and it's like
Are we looking at
that didn't look
It was on Kotaku.
But are we looking at the perspective of somebody
being killed by a hacker.
Yeah, there's no
hacker.
kill cam, is my understanding.
Right.
In so what happens is that this
It
person
just looked
is running
like they got
along,
killed.
and then they get hit with something, and then they got burst, and they're splatted, and the purple guy shows up and then moves along, and then we get shot back to the yellow spawn point. And then the tweet is like, "Please ban this hacker," because it shows the person's name who splatted you, right? And it's like, "Please ban this hacker," and I'm just like, I literally cannot tell whether that person. Whether
I've
they
never
hacked or
played the
not.
game.
Yeah, the thing that got brought up in this article though as well is that the Reddit user Please Add Anti Cheat said, and I guess it's in subsequent comments. It's like this isn't just hacking a leaderboard. This is literally you can take any game file and modify parameters. So if you want, you can tweak the accuracy of a gun. You can tweak the power of a gun. Maybe just enough that it gives you an edge over somebody else, but not enough to feel like it's hacking. But it just is better than.
Not enough to feel like it's hacking.
Yeah.
This is it's the
Fuck's sake.
the trick with a lot of consoles, because of the way the console is designed and kind of locked down, unlike PCs where they
Have
treat
a lot of that.
where
yeah.
like a PC game will basically treat the game on the person's computer that it's always compromised. Like they will assume that the game on the person's computer is compromised and do everything on the server, whereas on a console
That's not
there's a little bit
hacking,
more leeway.
That's modding.
I wouldn't call that modding at all. If the game's weapons are supposed to work a certain way and you were to go in or change the operation of a weapon, that's not a mod.
You have to,
Especially when you're playing.
and even if it is a mod, you have to hack to get the mod on.
Yeah. And I understand that the fact that people will be like, oh, well, I made a mod for Half-Life, or I made a mod using Source or whatever, and now it turned into its own game. You can make those arguments all you want, but it's like literally when you're playing a game, if you're playing PUBG against somebody else and somebody modified a gun in their game to do more damage or to do whatever to you, that's a hack. That's literally, that might be an illegal mod, illegal in terms of the game, but I mean, yeah, the idea here is that you can make modifications to any aspect of the game. You can make your ink fill up faster. You could make yourself move faster within the game. And there are actually things you can do to your clothing and stuff. This is a thing in the game is you get patches for clothing, right? And so you earn those patches, you unlock those patches on your gear by playing an awful lot. So, and then we'll give you slight buffs to the things you can do, where your ink fills up faster or that you can move faster or whatever. What this is talking about is literally just doing all that and not having to play the game a lot to get there. And so, yeah, I just think it's like...
If you're the only one running the mod, it's a hack. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like
If it's giving you gameplay advantage, I'd have to say that it's a bad thing to be doing. I don't care what you call it.
I mean, I guess they have a fair number of multiplayer things, but I feel like this is an area where Nintendo doesn't have the same amount of experience as other...
I think they should by now.
I would have assumed that,
They're bad at it,
Yeah.
but I don't think experience is...
But up until fairly recently, you literally couldn't play online on a Nintendo console with people who you didn't actually have their friend codes.
True, but even then, it's you couldn't.
Yeah,
Splatoon was one of the newest esports feeling multiplayer environments where they let you play with anybody. So that's true. And in fact, they were doing that. They're making random parties. So this is. I agree that this is a thing where it's Nintendo should be learning this by now. They should have been looking at what the rest of the industry is doing and doing that, and they haven't been building in the punk buster kind of things you need to build into a game to keep people from cheating in this way. But I also think there's a little bit of hubris where it's well, count on the console to keep people from hacking it, and I'm that hasn't worked in the last 4 consoles you've made. The 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, and now this one. All 4 of them have been compromised in some way. So you have to have additional measures.
All right, other stuff. Okay, there's the silly Bethesda story about the thing. I mean, part of the weird thing with that is that, of course, ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda, is, I mean, when they say they're big enough to do all the stuff in-house, ZeniMax is huge. And, part of the reason why they're big enough to do everything in-house is that a lot of the big games that Bethesda has previously been the publisher for, they now own.
Yeah.
Like ID,
Arcane?
Arcane.
Yeah.
They is owned by ZeniMax. So it's like, yeah, they do it all in house, but that's because the house has gotten very large.
But that doesn't mean that they're going to turn to id and say to them, hey, can you guys make the next Fallout or something, right? Like,
I mean, maybe, but probably not.
like, I mean, I've never heard of EA going to BioWare and saying, we need you guys to, you know, we need to borrow an entire team that's making this to enhance FIFA somehow or something like that. Like, I imagine they let them stay in their wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, there's cross-pollination and stuff. I mean, there's always the joke with like an Assassin's Creed game has about 7 studios working on it.
Yeah.
But of course, the studios are all called Ubisoft and then a place.
Yeah.
But a lot of those studios were previously independent studios, and then when they get bought by Ubisoft, they get renamed.
Right. Okay.
Speaking of Fortnite, because there wasn't enough Fortnite news, they figured out what went wrong with Playground mode, which is that too many people wanted to play it all at the same time.
Well, and they wanted to play by themselves.
Yeah.
Is the problem, is that they were like, our servers can handle all these thousands of people. It'll be great. Except when you take about the number of instances of Fortnite running, they expect it to be like, or somewhere around like 100 people per instance. And it turned out they needed like 100 times more instances because people were just like, I'm going to do it myself.
And what's funny is that their server infrastructure was able to scale in that way.
Right.
What the bottleneck was the matchmaking servers.
Oh.
Was that with so many
the thing that was actually like
instances,
provisioning
Right.
stuff.
it just got.
It's like I can't handle this many instances because I can't. Yeah. Okay.
Also, apparently, like
Hold on. So they took it down. They're fixing it. They're bringing it back.
Also, apparently, like building, like the actual like building stuff is one of the more server and computationally intensive things in Fortnite.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, that's what they talked about why they had all the problems in the Fortnite tournament is that there were more people who were really good at building than they're used to.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, in the playground mode, there's going to be more builders as well because they can build without people messing with their stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Astra, the VOD is up on the YouTube channel already, if you're looking for that. What was the other? There was one other aspect of this Fortnite thing. Oh, right. It's just that Keemstar hates Epic.
well, they kind of screwed him over with the.
Keemstar had been doing. If you're not familiar with Keemstar, it's not a big deal, but he had
It's a
been
big YouTuber thing.
Yeah, he does Drama Alert. His show is called Drama Alert. I think that actually probably tells you everything you need to know about Keemstar. But anyway, he was running a Fortnite tournament on Fridays called Friday Fortnite. And then the Summer Skirmish, Epic was like, we're going to be doing ours on Saturdays. And then their thing went wibbly and they were like, and also Friday. And he was like, what the hell, man? And then, you know, it just...
And also, and it was like...
He was like, they didn't communicate with me. And Epic's like, we don't have to talk to you at all.
No.
Well, they did communicate to him
Later.
saying that it would be okay for him to do it on Friday.
Yeah.
Also, they limit the size of the pot that he could do to 20,000.
Right.
And then invited all the people that he had going to his thing to this $250,000.
Oh, okay.
show.
Yeah, that's a little.
And he was like, I can't really stand in the way of my, players in my thing being able to get this bigger pot. So, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was a dick move.
Yeah, that actually, yeah.
So I think he's starting a thing on Sunday instead. But
Yeah.
This just in. Epic also doing some sort of official Fortnite thing on Sunday.
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I made that joke. Because I'm a
yeah.
professional comedian.
I see.
okay, either be here or not.
There's a mic
we
right
we
there.
can give you a microphone if you want.
And there's even a chair.
It's behind you. It's on the chair.
We might have to plug it in and make it loud, but
Yeah, wait. Go turn up mic 4 first.
plug it together. I think before.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Here, let me stand in front of the camera.
Great.
Thank God, that was good YouTube.
just watching you attach a mic. There we go. There's
Yeah.
a chair right there.
This is good comedy.
Yeah, this is content. Anyway, that's all the stories we had. Yep.
Is it really? Yeah, perfect.
I mean,
There's a Hearthstone thing.
oh yeah, right. The headline is "New Hearthstone card builds its own crappy deck, so you don't have to."
I kind of like that actually. It's one of the cool things, you know, one of the Hearthstone things that's super cool.
Oh, you have to actually you have to clicky the button, I think.
Oh, she's
You have
still
to
muted.
unmute it.
Oh,
Okay.
you want to do that?
Yeah.
Actually, wait. There was actually one more story.
Yes?
That you had read up on the Nintendo.
Yeah, the ROM sites.
Yes.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, Nintendo's shutting down the ROM sites.
2 ROM sites.
No,
They're shutting
two.
down.
Two specifically.
Yeah, because they're egregious.
Run
offenders.
by the same person.
Yeah, Love ROMs and Love Retro.
Okay.
And what got me about it is that they're filing a lawsuit, and their stance is like, this is not a fan level undertaking. This is somebody who's trying to like commercially infringe upon our property. But part of
Does he charge for the ROMs?
I don't think he does. I think he's just making like advertising and whatnot, right?
Okay.
Because I didn't see the whole breakdown on the website. But what fascinated me was in the article, part of the filing literally says that that the defendants have extensive knowledge of Nintendo's property. And
I mean, many people do.
and that's the thing is I'm kind of like they would know that all this belongs to Nintendo. I'm like, that's a gamer.
You have extensive knowledge
Yes!
of Nintendo's properties.
Yeah, and it's like, of course, somebody who runs a ROM site that is trying to like, I'm preserving all these ROMs and then making them available for people to play them without having purchased them. Of course, those people are going to have extensive knowledge of Nintendo's catalog.
One could make the argument that I have extensive knowledge of Nintendo's catalog compared to the average person. At
Right?
least.
Well,
That's
I think
not an argument.
I think what
they're not casual gamers, is what they said. And I'm like, what casual gamer goes on the internet and is like, here's a whole bunch of files. I don't know what these all are. Time to make an entire website devoted to them.
I guess what they're trying to prove is that this person knows enough about Nintendo and enough about video games that they should know that's super legal.
Yeah.
they're trying to cut off that argument, I think, and I think they're the fact that they're suing for like $200 million. I think they're overestimating the amount of money people are making off ROM sharing sites.
Yeah.
But
It might just be an amount of money that you're so scared of you're refusing to fight it.
I could see that.
Just immediately capitulate.
Yeah, I saw something about saying that it's like
to be honest, like I don't see what the fight is. Like this is one of those things where it's like, yeah. I mean, everyone knows it's illegal.
I guess maybe this is like
just usually they fly under the radar, but
this might be like the first time they're actually going after this kind of infringement, and they're like, okay, here's what we do: is we bring out the really big hammer, and we smash somebody really hard with it, and then everybody else is like, oh, okay, time to stop doing this. And I'm like, that hasn't worked for an awful lot of other enterprises on the internet.
Yeah.
So, good luck in shutting this down, I guess. I didn't need that copy of Transformers for NES, which is a garbage game.
yeah, like as you said, people in the comments, like there's all sorts of moral reasons why you might want to preserve video games.
Yeah.
You know, preserving the idea of preserving, or the idea of because the games are, sort of the like abandonware idea, right?
Yeah.
It's the idea that they're not. Then, like, there's all sorts of reasons why I think personally there's legit, moral things.
Absolutely.
From a legal standpoint, I think it's pretty clear that it's not allowed.
Yeah.
That, in the same way as, companies have legal rights to, like, say, stop people from streaming a game if they want to, if their own game, right?
Yeah.
But they never
No,
actually
they don't.
They don't, because that would be stupid for all sorts of reasons.
No, Atlas tried.
Yeah,
That's different, actually.
Atlas did.
Because
Oh, right.
I mean, wasn't Atlas's thing? Was this is the Persona 5
Yeah,
thing?
they were like, please don't fucking spoil this game. It's got an enormous twist.
Right.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah.
It has a huge twist.
Right. But,
But
their
in-
stance was like, you can stream the game, but please don't do it
You can
after
do it at a certain
point.
amount.
To,
Yeah.
to a certain point in the storyline where you find out the twist.
Yeah.
Actually,
Which is very specific.
Actually, more notably, when PewDiePie said the N-word, I can't remember the game company, but they were like, take down your videos where you played our game.
Oh,
Or that was
really?
Firewatch.
Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, it was Firewatch.
We don't want to be associated
Yeah, it's
with
like
you.
we don't want videos of you playing our game. And people are like, well, you're not allowed to do that. And they're like, fucking are.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. They just don't. And we've decided we want to. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah. Right. Campo Santo. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is
All right. It's
questionable to me, but anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not that questionable to me. I don't know.
Not questionable that it's legal.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad idea from
don't-
their perspective, but
I don't think so.
I think if
I think
there's-
if they're like, we don't want, like, if someone YouTubes our game, we don't want one of the top results being that person playing our game.
yeah, we don't want the top result for our game being a person we don't agree with. Like, you know, because the top result for I don't want the top result for my game on YouTube. Like, what? Like, you make a game and some sort of horrible alt-right troll really loves it and plays it, you know, and then the top result for your game is an alt-right troll,
Yeah.
right? Like, they're
Having some recourse in that regard, I mean, I would want that.
yeah, I don't necessarily think most people need to use it, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like that's not necessarily a bad thing to have at your disposal in case of something like that.
Yeah, I definitely would feel like put out if some studio was like, we have a very strong stance on being in support of white supremacy, and we don't want Loading Ready Run to play our game. But then we might have not
Be like,
decided to play the game
I
in the
wanna
first
play
place.
that game anyway.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a ad hoc story that wasn't in your list there. That's very much in our wheelhouse of Magic and D&D. So for many years, I don't know about many years, but since 2016, Magic and D&D have had these little plane shift little books. The plane shift Innistrad, Amonkhet, Kaladesh, and Ixalan were sort of like an adventure that's like, it's a D&D adventure set on this Magic plane.
right.
Right,
okay.
it's like the cool little sort of like mini crossover kind of thing that you can do like a one-off. I did one at GP Vegas last year with Jeremy Knoll as the DM. But now, I don't know if you've actually seen this, Kathleen, very exciting. They are releasing a full source book. It's The Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica.
I saw.
It is, yeah, it's an actual like $50 hardcover source book. It is a full like
Fancy pants.
port of like this Magic plane into D&D.
Yeah, so you can set a campaign on Ravnica now.
Yeah.
So are
A
they
full campaign.
Are they treating Ravnica as if it's a part of the D&D multiverse?
I don't know.
Okay. Because I think, because the level
Guild
of
friends
the
win.
level of crossover kind of becomes a thing. Is like, well, is it a part of D&D now, or is it actually
It's-
just we can give you all the D&D stuff you would need to know in order to do it in that universe?
I mean, both D&D and Magic
Apparently
are
they
very
did this for
comfortable with the
Zendikar.
idea of all sorts
No,
of
that was the
different
plane shift.
all sorts of different planes with different
yeah,
rules and different features and stuff.
yeah.
Like that happens all the time in both D&D and Magic. So there isn't, I don't think there's anything that's sort of mutually exclusive about them both existing in the same multiverse, I guess.
Right.
But
This is, like I
I'm
said,
assuming
they've
they're not
been-
going to like tie them closely together.
Like I said, they've been doing this since 2016 with Zendikar, Innistrad, Amonkhet, Kaladesh, and Ixalan. But this is the first
Source book
full
proper.
big like those would let you like they were like little adventures and they would let you sort of figure out how to run a campaign. It's like what if I wanted to set a D&D campaign on the plane of Amonkhet? Like this would help you do that. But this is a much more fleshed out full like source book.
That probably doesn't come with a pre-scripted adventure. It's like
Probably not.
It's like this. You use this book to actually make your own campaigns.
And these are like the stats for all the characters.
This is how. Yeah. These are the different entities that exist within. That's interesting.
Jace is so munchkined. He's the worst.
I found out about this because someone on the subreddit, someone on the Magic subreddit, username tagged me, being like, or someone said, "Boy, I hope LRR plays this on Dice Friends," and someone responded, being like, "Well, I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, they have like they work with D&D and they work with Magic," and someone's like, "Well, hey." Hey, you Graham_LRR, what do you say? And I'm like, I'm literally just finding out about this now.
Yeah.
I'll ask. I certainly hope so. So no promises is basically we don't know we don't currently have plans for Dice Friends once Dragon's Orders is over. We don't. We'll be doing stuff. We just don't know what that is. So
Speaking of which,
that's in an hour. So we should go.
Holy crap. Oh my god.
Hey, it said us four though.
Yeah, it's the 4 of us.
Oh yeah, hey. We just start now.
Yeah. Shit.
I win.
Well, good.
Good.
We need more of that.
I cast win the game.
You do not have that spell.
I'm a fighter.
If you're interested in watching how watching how bakeries can hurt each other, please join us for Dice Friends.
Oh, I think we're. I think
Are we on that?
Actually,
well, I guess we're starting.
real quick, did you see the other D&D book they announced?
Yeah,
it's a $20
Eberron.
one. Yeah, it's The Wayfarer's Guide to Eberron, which is designed by Keith Baker.
Oh, cool.
Who made Gloom.
Nice.
And is a fan
And
of,
Illimat.
is a fan.
And a bunch of other good games.
Yeah. That's cool.
So yes, as a reminder, that is at 4:30
Perfect.
local Moonbase time, and it is also on
definitely
the
not
Wizards of
gonna
the
hit the
Coast
spell save
channel.
DC.
Yeah.
We'll be hosting it here, but
Twitch.tv/DND.
you will not get a notification though when
Yeah.
it goes live unless you're subscribed or you're following the D&D channel.
Yeah, it will be, yeah. That's the big thing is that people tend to miss it because we do host it here, but you don't get a ping for it. So, yeah.
Let's welcome some subs.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. And then let's go get food.
Never.
Okay.
Cradox for 32 months says 32 is not a number. Lies.
I don't know enough to dispute it.
Taichani for 38 months. Something, something, something meme. Yay, Dice Friends tonight.
Yay.
Zinran with 4-month reset. Welcome back.
King Lemming.
Lemaine?
For 44 months. According to Mark Twain, 44 is the number of Satan's nephew.
Oh.
He would know. Maybe.
Kathleen?
Oh, H-Bomb and Friends for 5 months says, is Kathleen okay? She looks a lot like Beach today. I do not.
L Sheens for 29 months. Welcome back.
That was before you were here. Generic Evil Genius with a 50-month resub. 50 months? I wouldn't have made it this far without the lovely @Mearness.
They've been doing this for a couple weeks now, and it's very sweet.
It is.
Cheese 7891 for 8 months. Keep up the good work, friends.
D-Dubs for 22 months. Woo.
Soprano Cat for 19 months. Yet another reason I don't play Destiny because F that.
Fair. Emergent OS with a 7-month resub. Thank you for all the happiness. Thank you, Emergent OS.
JZ1011 for 19 months. Hey, 19 months of point checking and memes and other things. What are those things you asked? I don't know. I have been asking too.
Nobody knows.
The Angry Red Bird for 11 months.
Sounds like a thing you would read to your kid.
Yeah.
Snowbound for 22 months. Take me down to Paradise City where the grass is green and there's anime titty. Actually, please never do that.
Jesus.
I didn't want to do
DT
that.
added with a 35-month resub. 35 months, that's 1 month for every year of my life. Cool.
Camphalion for 8 months. Hey, it's the button thing. I seriously cannot thank you all enough for everything you do.
Thank you, Camthalion.
Kitsune Studios is a brand new subscriber. Yay.
And Zombie Kira, you're back for your 6th month. Welcome back.
That's half a year.
Tycoon 2 with a 21-month resub to the camera charger fund or any other electrical needs you may have.
So just buy some lamp cord.
We should just buy that.
Corvus for 56 months. Next time you need to power a camera, just ask Snack. I'm sure he has a spare battery pack.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Getting my
They are in a
pine
stack.
nads into
They
Candy.
are literally stacked on top of one another.
Yeah.
Xavier Turtle, brand new subscriber. Welcome to this. What an experience.
Crispy042 for the 17th month. Welcome back, Crispy.
LaGrange is my homie with a 27-month resub. Wow, I don't know if I'm ready to be a sub dad a 3rd time.
That's a big responsibility.
No, noob, no! For 11 months.
Why are you walking into
Shot
that?
Rob, 26 months.
Bodie McBoatface Jr. for 19 months. Hey, you guys!
Bergenston with a 13-month resub. Lucky!
I would misspell that all the time.
John Dare for 54 months. Woo, Bezos bucks.
Yeah. C. Maxwell for 3 months says, hello, friends. And
Hello.
Charlie will be saying goodbye, friends.
Oh, Stormshot14, back for the 15th month. Welcome.
Craddock with a 32-month resub. 32 is not a number we've looped.
Oh, weird.
No, that's new.
Quicksell 102.
And Zrez, too, for 20 months says, Subtrain. Wait, wrong stream. Oh, well.
We have subtrains.
Yeah. Contingent Cat
Right, no, yeah, Contingent Cat for a full year, 12 months.
and 401 bits from Earth and One, Fire, Ice, Air, 1989, Arctic, Scarab, Banrail, and Hoppole Studios.
Yay.
And apparently,
Don't know why.
I think
Amoral
there may,
Ling-
yeah, there
apparently
may have
Amoral
been
Lingue
some before we went online.
subbed before the stream started.
Oh.
So thank you.
Let me just double check to see
A déjà vu.
if there's
Been in this place
some
before.
more
Out on the street,
people.
and I know it's my time to go.
I guess I will hop in the shopping list and
Yes.
find a...
Mikarg
Ah,
for 22 months in a row says Two Little Ducks. And Banrael for 22 months in a row. First time I have gotten to resub on this stream.
No.
Thank you kindly for all the work you folks do. It wasn't on the stream,
We
but
got there. We got there.
we got there.
yeah,
And
almost missed you.
then Tajani,
And
we did.
Amoral Lingue.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you did that one.
I didn't say. I didn't see it. It says, it has everything: nuance, humor, surprise journalism, weird facts about topics like bees. Glad to resub during my current favorite show.
Oh, hey, thank you.
Which means it
Sorry, we
wasn't
started
their
a
favorite
little
show
late.
at one point.
Yeah,
And it probably won't always be their favorite show.
but right now, we've got their attention.
Yeah, exactly.
This
So-
content is for you.
Yeah, so what you should be actually be watching on the Loading Ready Run podcast network, Loading Ready Run Broadcasting Empire, is...
Brempire.
I mean, Dice Friends is pretty
yeah,
good.
Dice Friends is next, so I would
The
just...
panelist is good when Beige is on it.
Thank you.
Otherwise, don't bother.
It's good other times too.
That's just one of the times it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be back in about an hour for the Dice Friends. But and then tomorrow, there's all sorts of other cool stuff happening. So check out the events page or the live page.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.